Hello students, welcome back to Mental Ability series, class 10th. Today in the series, we are discussing chapter name classification. As the name suggests, in this chapter, we are going to deal with the classification of multiple sectors, right? When I say multiple sectors, it means either we are going to discuss about fruits, players, any utensils, any group of thing, right? If I talk about a group of words like eraser, pen, pencil, so they all belongs to stationary items, right? Similarly, if I talk about something else, like if I take an example here for you, right? In this chapter, we are going to deal with these kind of questions. If I write pen, pencil, eraser, and a football, right? So you can easily figure out of all given four options which is unique or which is odd one out. So this is football because rest all are stationary items. So these kind of questions you are going to see in this chapter. I hope you are clear with the basic introduction part. So what exactly classification is? Classification means to escort or to assort the item of given group on the basis of certain common qualities. Like recently we talk about some stationary items. So what is common in those items? That they belong to stationary. They possess and then spot the stranger out. We can say stranger out or we can say odd one out. So you can mark any of the thing, right? Or you can say different from the given options, right? So anything can be written in the question. So you are supposed to mark the answer accordingly. So here in this chapter, we are going to discuss total of 14 questions, and with the help of those 14 questions, I will explain you each and every concept, right? So here are the directions for the first 5 questions. Mark this thing, the direction for the first 5 questions, right? So in each case, you are supposed to read the instructions carefully, right? So the instruction says that in each of the following questions, that means the next 5 questions, 5 words are given, okay? How many words will be given? 5 words will be given, out of which 4 are of same kind or in a same way they are related to each other, and the 5th one is different. It doesn't mean that it is always written on the 5th number, right? It can be in between any of the number out of all 5, right? From the others, how that number is different, right? Select that odd one. So as I mentioned initially, this time the term used by them is the odd one. So in every question you have given 5 letters or 5 words, and out of which 4 words are related to each other with some relation, right? And here you have to find the relation, how that particular different word is different from other 4 words given, right? I hope this question is clear, right? As we did in the very first part, pencil, pen and eraser are related to each other as they all belong to stationary items. But football is a game, right? Football is a sports. So stationary item and football is a different thing, right? This is how we are going to deal with the questions. So I'm starting with the first question now. First question is in front of you, right? Now what you need to figure out in these kind of questions is to read each and every word carefully. Now the first word given is sun. So what exactly sun is? We know this. In our solar system, the center point is the sun, around which multiple planets, total 8 or 9 in numbers, right, revolve around the sun, right? So sun is itself a center point. Now option C is Venus, right? Venus is a planet which revolve around sun. Mark it as Venus. Then Mars. Mark it as Mars. Right? Talking about Earth. Earth. You can see that Sun, and then Venus, then Mars, and then Earth, they all are different bodies independent to each other, and they all are called as planets. Sun is a center point in around which all planets revolve. And then there is a word named Moon in the given option. Right? So Moon is what? Moon is the natural satellite of Earth which revolve around Earth itself. I hope this part is clear. So what do you think? Which one is different from all four options? Either it is Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars or Earth. So you can easily figure out Moon is different from others as Moon is a natural satellite. What is it? Moon is a natural satellite. Write it down. Okay. It is not about finding the answer. It is more about understanding the concept. How and from which relation we are differentiating things. Right. So others are planets. Apart from Moon. Moon is a natural satellite of which planet? Moon is the natural satellite of Earth. I hope this question is clear. Here you can see the solution part. Option B. All terms except Moon are related to solar system. Right? We have already discussed about solar system. Right? In which 8 planets revolve in concentric to each other. And there is one more planet which have some different path. Right? That is Pluto. We all are aware of this. Right? So in this particular chapter, your little bit of GK is also tested. As soon as you are very well aware of your surroundings and the GK, then only you are able to differentiate in different relations, right? In this manner, you are able to find all the answers, right? Now we'll move directly to the next question where you have to find another relation, right? After reading all the options, like first option is green, second is violet, third is brown, fourth is yellow, fifth is orange. What do you think how these colors are related to each other? Take some time, pause this video and try to answer this question. So how you can approach for the answer, how you can start thinking of all these things, how these colors are related to each other. You can assume or you can think of something in which different colors are there, right? In which all colors are together. What is it? It is a color box. Either they are primary colors, either they are secondary colors, or multiple colors are there in rainbow as well, right? In spectrum as well, we follow multiple things, right? So if we see them carefully, we know that green is there in rainbow, violet is also there in rainbow, yellow is also there in rainbow, orange is also there in rainbow, right? So all colors except which one? That is brown are present in rainbow. I hope this part is also clear. Now how I am thinking, how I went till to rainbow, because all colors name are mentioned. So I need to think of something which cover all the colors, right? As soon as I am able to cover that, we are able to get the answer. Now I know rainbow is something in which we have 7 colors, and out of all colors given here in the options, only brown is someone who do not lie in rainbow. I hope this part is also clear. You can read the answer here as well. Except brown, all colors are present in a rainbow. I hope this part is clear. I hope this part is clear. I hope both the questions are clear. Reason is, you are supposed to find the logic and the reasoning behind why we are choosing a particular color, why we are choosing that particular color. Before that, you just need to revise or find out the relation between other 4, right? The relation between other 4, right? Now, as soon as we are completed with both the topics, both the questions, what we are able to understand? First, we just need to read all options. What we need to do? Read all options. then automatically your mind start working as per the options given. Like in the previous question, in this question itself, color names are given, right? So in colors name, how we can think of? Either they are primary colors, right? Or secondary colors, or color of a rainbow, right? Anything can be there. So you can mark things like this. I hope you get my point as well. So read the all options, try to figure out the relation. First, get to know how they are related to each other. I hope this thing is clear. Now, if we look at question number 3, what we can see that silk, fur is like soft kind of cotton, right? Then milk, then leather, then rubber. So how you are able to manage things, right? You can see leather is something, just say leather is something through which clothes are made or shoes are made. Different wearing items, clothings were made through leather. Fur is also used in clothing skill. Silk is also used in what? Cloths or any kind of wearing item, right? But milk is not even rubber, right? So it means this logic will not work because we are getting two different options. So we need to think of something else. So I can see that leather is something which we get from animals. From whom? From animals, right? Milk is something again we got from animals. Fur again from animal, right? So now you can see we are on, and silk as well. With the help of silkworm, we are getting this, right? Again, it's a animal. What do you think about rubber? We get rubber from trees. I hope this part is also clear. So you can easily figure out which one is different. Option number E is different. And what was the relation with this? Relation is that every material which was written in option A, B, C and D, these material can be directly obtained from a animal. I hope this part is clear, right? And the option E which is written, it means the rubber that we get from trees. I hope you are clear with this part as well as this question, right? Now we are moving to the next question, that is your question number 4. Before that, you can see option number E, only thing that is a tree product, rest all are animal products, right? Now question number 4, here you can see something, right? What you can see? Milk. Everybody is aware of what exactly a milk is. Syrup, whenever you are facing any problem related to your throat, related to any kind of problem during winters, many people face, right? Syrup is there. Syrup is like a liquid medicine, right? Everybody is aware of that as well, right? The next is squash. Squash is the like shake type of thing, right? A milkshake and these kind of things, right? A tea. Everybody know what exactly a tea is. Especially in winters, the people are very fond of having tea. Everybody is aware of cake as well, right? Cake is something that we use to celebrate any occasion, any achievement, anything, right? So what do you think? Milk, how we take milk? We drink it, right? We drink it. About syrup, as it is a liquid, we drink this as well. Squash, again I mentioned about this thing. Again we can drink this. What about tea? Definitely drinks, right? Irrespective of what kind of things they are, a cold milk will be there, syrup is neutral, squash can be cold, tea is hot, right? Green tea, right? What about cake? Can we drink cake? No, we have to eat, right? We have to eat cake. So again, you can easily make the difference. Everything out here is a drinking material except cake, right? Except cake. So which one is different? Option number E, that you can see here as well. Option E, all other items are drinks. And cake is an item of to eat basically, not to drink. When we have a cake in a liquid form, it will not remain cake anymore. It will become a soft drink, right? Or it will become a shake kind of thing, right? Okay. Now I think you are clear with the kind of questions that we are dealing till here. We are having 5 different options, right? In which we have certain relation among 4 options, and the 5th one is different from all 5. I hope this part is also clear, right? Now, what we are doing, we are moving to the next question where we have some different set of words. And as soon as we are able to differentiate them, we are able to understand their meaning and drive the relation between them, we will get our answer as well. I hope this part is also clear, right? Now, the next set of words is conciseness. What is consensus? Consensus is something to get a result, or we can say summary, right? That is conciseness. Consensus we can say. Consensus means after having good discussion among the group members, few students are discussing something and having had a discussion of around 35-40 minutes and they reach on some consensus. It means on some output, right? What exactly this means is on some output. This is what consensus means, right? Next word is morality, which include your moral values, right? What? Moral values. What about conduct? Conduct is something tells about your behavior, right? What kind of conduct you have, what kind of behavior you have with your friends, right? It is about behavior, right? Now your willpower. It is not exactly how physically strong you are, how courageous you are, right? How courageous you are. This shows your willpower. Weight. Weight is related to your body mass. What? Body mass. So you can easily figure out all these 4 words. That is morality, your conduct, your willpower and your weight is talking about a human, right? And consensus is something which is not directly talking about the trait of a human being, right? It is totally different thing. It is result, it is summary, or it can be output of something. So consensus will be your answer. Option number A, right? Okay, I think we have made a mistake. How weight can tell about your behavior, right? Weight is a physical thing. It is a physical thing. I hope you got this point. And consensus, those who are sorted, right? Those who have clarity in their mind, they reach to consensus quickly. It means clarity of mind, right? You can see this. Initially we had made some mistake in understanding this part, but body mass is a physical thing, not something which is very, very related to your human behavior. Someone who is very good and having clarity of mind, good decision maker, they are someone those who are having clarity of mind as well. So they will be considered as humans, right? I hope they will be considered as humans trait, right? Courageous. Someone can be courageous, having good behavior and have some good moral values, and a person with clarity of mind. These all things will tell about the human behavior. So first 4 option tells about the human behavior. And the 5th option, that is weight, is a physical thing. So our option is option number E. All other terms are used to represent human behavioral personality factor, right? And option E, that is weight, it is a physical factor, right? Which kind of factor? Physical factor. I hope this point is also clear, right? Now we'll move to the next part, that is the direction for question number 6 to 9. So now till now we have discussed 5 questions in which we are dealing with different set of words. What are things? Different set of words. But in the initial part of the chapter, I have told you that in this chapter you are going to deal with alphabets, numerical values as well. So, and you have to drive the relation between them, right? So, if in case we are using any of the alphabet, so for that you must aware of their place values. Whenever I use the word place values, what are they? I'll explain you within 2 minutes. So read it properly now. If I write from here itself, if I write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I'm going to write the place values as well. So for the place value of A, what it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. Now why I wrote every place values? There is some reason. So even you can use this thing while you are going for any exam. A rough sheet is given to you, right? Make sure to write in this particular manner. That is why I write this thing. You are supposed to write in this manner. First 13 words from left to right, and just below that next 13 words from right to left. How these are helpful, that I will tell you as soon as we'll move forward with the question part. Now I am going to explain you from question number 6 to 9 in this particular with the help of these particular directions. Now you will see how I am using this table in order to find my answers. So our first question is, now read the alphabets. N, K, M, J, this is first. F, C, E, B, that is second. Third is U, R, T, Q. Fourth is K, H, J, G. Fifth is T, Q, R, P. Now, if you can see that, what kind of relation we are able to drive with them. We know that in between K and M, which letter is there? K, L, M. Only one letter is there. Okay. In between C and E, which letter is there? D is there. It means one letter is there in between this. One letter is there in between the middle two words. In between R and T, that is S. This is also following this thing. In between H and J is H, I, J, right? So I is there in between. So every letter that we have discussed till now having one letter in between the middle two letters, right? Q and R are the two consecutive alphabets. Two consecutive alphabets. It means as per the what? Alphabet series. They do not have any P and Q are adjacent to each other, right? It means they do not have any single word in between them. So now you can easily figure out like K and M having L in between, C and E having what? D in between, R and T having S in between, H and J having I in between. So every letter is following, every option is following the same pattern instead of except E. So which one is your answer? Option E will be your answer. I hope you got this point as well, right? If you can see that in between C and E, which is there? D is there. In between K and M, which is there? L is there, right? This is how we are using this table as well, right? Now we'll move to the question number 7, right? In this particular question, what you can see, I'm able to tell you, right? The first option is D and W. If you look to the table that we have made, you can see D and W are just opposite to each other. This is one thing, okay? What about others? GT and KP, right? About GT, okay, G and T is also opposite to each other. K and P also opposite to each other. It means if we count from the starting first four, that is A, B, C and D is the fourth one. And if we count it from the last, that is Z, Y, X, W, W is fourth one from the last. This is the relation. If I talk about G, G is 7th from the starting and T is 7th from the last, right? This is the relation that we are driving. K is 11th and P is also 11th from the last, right? This is the relation that we are driving. Talking about FR and H and S. FR and H and S. You can see H and S are opposite to each other. It means H is on 8th position from the starting and S is also on 8th position from the end. But what you can see here, F and R are not opposite to each other. So I hope you are able to get the relation between them, right? The relation between them, and this relation can be derived with the help of that table itself. Otherwise, you have to count it again and again, again and again. But if you made that table for you in the beginning of the test itself, then it becomes easier for you to answer these questions. So option D is your answer. I hope you didn't find any problem in this part, right? In all other pairs of word, the first and the second letter are equidistant from each other, from either in the beginning and respectively alphabet in the series, beginning and the end, right? If I talk about A is starting first, similarly Z is first from the back, right? This is the relation that we are talking about in this question. I hope this part is also clear, right? Now, we are directly starting with the next question. Here, what is the importance of alphabets and how we are driving relation? So, I'll told you in brief first. Whenever alphabet is there, right? Now you can see all 5 words or letters, a combination of both is there, right? So, how you are able to find that? For that, students, at point A, talking about the alphabet A, its place value is 1. So write it down 1. And the place value of C is 3. We know this. And when I use the word place value, what are we talking about? At which place A and C is, right? Right? So we have already talking about point A. So for the place value of A, we know 1. For the place value of C, we know 3, right? Here you can see all 5 options and we are going to use the same thing for every option. We are going to implement the same thing that we just implemented for A and C. We know this, A having a place value of 1, C having a place value of 3. So if we write them in a particular manner that 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. And if we multiply it by 2, we'll get 8, which is our middle number, right? What it is? Your middle number. Similarly, we know that the place value of D is 4 and the place value of G is 7, which comes out to be 11, multiplied by 2 comes out to be 22. Again, a middle number. I hope you are not facing any problem in this, right? What exactly the relation that we are using and what is the importance of writing that table out there, right? This is the thing, students. Now, if we talk about the place value of H, we know that the place value of H is 8, okay, and the place value of M is 13. The combination of both gives 21. Multiplied by 2, then it will give 42. Again a middle number. Students, if all these things are following, it means we are getting our answer. So what we are doing? The place value of H, the place value of M. Here the place value of D and the place value of G, place value of 1 and the place value of 3. Similarly, if we talk about the place value of B, that is 2, plus the place value of P, that we have to figure out. That is what? 16, right? So how much we are getting? 18 multiplied by 2 will get 36. Again the middle term, right? Why I am writing everything for you? So that it become easy for you to understand this, right? Again, I hope till here it is clear. But what we are able to see that till now we have checked for 4 options and this condition is satisfying for each and every option. So this somewhere shows that maybe E will be your answer, but for that also we have to check, right? How we will check? F is having a place value of 6, J is having a place value of 10, which gives 16. And if we multiply it by 2, we will get 32, which is not our middle number. So you can easily figure out which one is different. Option number E is different because it is not satisfying the conditions which are satisfied by option A, B, C and option D. I hope you are clear with this part. I have explained you in detail about the concept behind this, right? Now you can check here as well. Option E. In all other groups, the number between the first and the second letter is twice the sum of their position of the first and second. When we talk about position, it is about their place values, right? And now you are very well aware what exactly place values are. I hope you find this well as well, right? Now, we will move to the next question. Here what you can see that if I talk about A is having a place value of 1 plus Y is having a place value of 25, which gives us 26. This time we divide it by 2, we'll get 13. Previously what we are doing? We are multiplying it. This time what we are doing? We are dividing it by 2. If I take the example of place value of M is 13 and place value of R is 18. So total sum that we get is what it is? 31. And if we divide it by 2, we are not getting it, right? What we are getting? We are getting somewhere around 15.5, which is not. Here it is the last value, I understand. Right? This is not the last value. Right? We will check this for others as well. What if some other logic is there, right? So, now we will check for, let's say this, right? For this part. G having a place value of what? 7, right? And Q having a place value of what? 19. So the sum of them will appears us to be, this comes out to be 7 and G comes out to be totally different. What we can do here, we need to check the place value of every item. G having a place value of 7 out here. The place value of Q will be, we have to check this again, right? This must be something else then, right? At 21, we know what comes, right? I'll check this for you, right? Yes, we are talking about this particular thing, right? We have to check it by ourselves itself, right? Okay, what we are doing initially, right? When we talk about K is having a place value of, right? Okay, K is having a place value of 11 plus Q is having a place value of, just a second, we have to check, we have to count it down because right now diagram is not there with us. For that what we will do, we will just count it, right? 17 is there, right? So what we will do, K is having a place value of this, Q is having a place value of this, which comes out to be 28 divided by 2, which gives us 14, our last value. So again, we are getting this, we are getting this. Similarly, if we talk about this as well, we are supposed to get our answer, but we are not getting it. It means C is our answer. That is so simple part, right? So in all other groups, the number at the end is half of the sum of the position of first and second letter in the alphabet. I hope this part is clear. Which is not feasible or which is not working in this case. The sum should be 22, so that when it is divided by 2, we'll get 11, right? Right now we are not getting the same, right? So option C is our answer. I hope there is no problem in finding answers still here, right? Now, we can look for the last 10 questions of this chapter, right? Here we are supposed to derive some other relations. And as soon as we are able to derive the relation between the questions, then only we are able to find the answer or the odd one out value. So again, here is something. This is a typical math type of questions where you are seeing ratios and all, right? So how you are supposed to proceed with this? Always start with option number 1 and try to figure out the relation. Okay, I'll tell you 2-3 relations that can be possible with this. Okay, the first relation can be if we plus 5 in the first number, we will get 8 and our ratio will become 3:8. This is one part. If we do first number multiplied by 2 plus 2, what we will get? We'll again get 8. Our relation become 3:8. Or what we can do? If we square first number and minus 1, what we will get? 9 minus 1, that is again 8. Then our relation become 3:8. Now these are the 3 possible ways that we can find out this answer, right? So let us just implement any one of them, right? If we add 5 in 6, we are going to get 11, which is not our answer. If we multiply it by 2, it becomes 6 multiplied by 2 becomes 12 plus 2 14. Again, it is not our answer. So we'll try our third approach. That is 6 square minus 1 comes out to be 36 minus 1, which gives us 35. This is a okay statement, right? This is also a okay statement. These are not, because they are not followed by the second term now. Now if we talk about this, what we are getting? 7 square minus 1 will get 49 minus 1, which comes out to be 48, which is again not okay. We will check it again, right? Here 1 square minus 1 comes out to be 1 minus 1 comes out to be 0. It is also an okay statement. Now if we talk about this, 9 square minus 1, that comes out to be 81 minus 1 comes out to be 80. So you can see there, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, and this is okay. Only one statement is there which is not following this. So definitely this particular statement is our odd one out statement. I hope you are able to know or understand this question. Why I am writing everything in detail? So that it become easier for you students to understand these things, right? So whenever you watch this video, you at least know what is the concept behind the question, right? I'll take 3 more questions now. So this is our answer. We have already figured it out already, right? The process we are doing is, let's say A ratio B is there. So what we are doing? A square minus 1 is giving us B. This is the method that we are using. You can mark this thing as a notes as well, right? Now, E is our answer that we have already figured out. Wait, now question number 11. Okay, so what question number 11 says that? You can see this, what we are doing in this. 21 plus 3 and we are getting our answer. Is this possible in this part? No. So it means this is not working. We know this. If we write it down, 3 into 7 is to 3 into 8. So we are getting some relation of 7:8 here, right? Okay, mark it as this as well. Here we write 4 into 7 ratio 4 into 8. Again we are getting a ratio of 7:8. Now you are getting what I am getting. What I am doing here, we are making it in the multiple form now. Here, I can write 2 into 7 is to 2 into 8. I hope you are getting it now. Again 7 is to 8. We are getting these things, right? Here we get 7 is to 8. Here also we get 7 is to 8. What about this? This is clearly indicating that 10 into 7 is 70 and 10 into 8 is 80. So again here we are getting a ratio of 7 is to 8 multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 10. So multiplication factor is changing but the ratio is same. So we are getting a good relation, right? Here as well. We know that 8 is not the factor of 62. Either it should be 64. So again, how we can go for this? We are not getting any direct relation. If you write it down, we are getting 9 into 6. And again, we are not getting any relation with this. We are not able to multiply it in the factor of 7 or 8, right? Hence, this is not okay. So option E will be your answer. And what is the relation with the help of which we are differentiating this? The relation is mentioned here as well, right? The main purpose of writing everything in detail here is to make you understand this topic very well, because these kind of questions will help you in many topics of reasoning, right? So make sure to make complete note of it, right? Now we'll are directly moving to the next question, that is our question number 12. Now we know our answer, that is E. All are somewhere related with the ratio of 7:8 with different multiple factors, right? Now what question number 12 is saying? You can see direct numbers are there. First is 4, 8, 16, 9 and 25. So students, make sure whenever you are getting 16, 9, 25, you know what is this? 4 square. What is this? 3 square. What is this? 5 square. What is this? 2 square. And what is this? It's 2's cube. You know that here we are using square, here we are using square, here also we are using square, here also we are using square, but only cube is there. Now which one is different? Option B is different. I hope you are able to find it now, able to get these things. Whenever a question is asked, try to form these things. Then these things will help you to answer the question very well. Then you will never find any problem while answering these things, right? I hope this part is also clear. Now, question number 13. Answer B is there. We have already discussed how, right? Question number 13 is here. How you are able to find the relation in between them. What kind of things can be there, right? Again, you want to see that 22:0. What it can be done? So, something should be done with this 22, right? So what we can do? We can subtract both the terms, both the places. We will get 0. We are getting it, right? So this is following this condition. If we subtract this 4 minus 2, we will get only 2. It means this is not there. So what we can do? We can subtract the square of both the numbers. Then also we are getting 0. Here also if we subtract, what we are doing here? 2 square minus 2 square, it comes out to be 0. This is a okay situation for right now, right? If we talk about this, this is 4 square minus unit place minus 10th place. Comes out to be 2, which gives us 16 minus 4 gives us 12. Again a okay statement, students. Remember this thing, what kind of relations I am using. Here, 3 square minus 2 square. What we are getting? 9 minus 4 is 5. Again a okay statement. What we need to look at is what kind of relation we are driving. You are supposed to be sharp with your mathematics as well. You need to at least remember squares till 20. Here we are using small squares only, although here is, what is this? 8 square minus 1 square. What we will get? 64 minus 1 comes out to be 63. Again a okay statement. You already know 4 statements are okay. So definitely this statement have some blunder or some error which is not following the same concept. That is 4 square minus 2 square comes out to be 12. But what we need? 18 is a not okay statement. Hence, your option E is the answer. Now, I think you are very clear with these kind of concepts, right? Here I have already explained questions in very detail. So with this, our option number E is answer, and we came to the last question of this chapter, which tells you about the direct answering method, right? In this, you are not supposed to use your pen at all, right? You have A, B, C, D and E. You just need to think and pressurize your mind what kind of relation or what kind of numbers they are, right? We know this. How many factors, whenever a single number is given, try to make factors of it. 43 has how many factors? Actually, no factors. 43 is a prime number, right? Only this is there. It is a prime number. Okay. What about 53? Is there any factor of 53 or not? Definitely not. 53 is the only factor. Again, it is a prime number. I hope you get this. 63. We know 9 into 7 into 1. These are the factor. It is a composite number, right? Okay. 73 is a prime number again. So it don't have any factors, right? 83. We never saw 83 is a factor of anyone, because we know till 100 we are very well aware how many are prime numbers or how many are not. So what you can easily figure out, this and this are same, but this is different. So option C will be your answer. But major point is, now you need to remember the prime numbers, right? So what you are need to remember, make a note of it right here. First is prime numbers. Second is even numbers. Third is squares of numbers. Cube of squares till 1 to 20. Cube till 1 to 15, right? You need to remember all these things. These kind of things can be there in the classification chapter, right? After that, what you need to know? Anything else? Anything we are left with right now? No, I think everything is done, right? Even number is there. Odd numbers can be there, right? You can remember these numbers, right? You must know what? Tables. Till 20, at least till 20. This is the basic requirement of this chapter, right? If you are very well aware of all these things, you will be able to answer all the numerical type questions in which numerical numbers are used. What about alphabets? For that you need place values, right? You need to remember place value from A to Z and Z to A as well. In the reverse order as well, you need to remember this. I hope this part is very clear to you now. Okay. So with this, I would like to end this chapter. We know option C is our answer. We have already understand this part, right? Right. Now, with this, I would like to end this chapter here itself. And you are supposed to do what? You are supposed to re-revise this video again and again, so that you will become clear in your mind what kind of process or the procedure we need to follow for this particular chapter. I hope this part is clear. With this, I would like to end this chapter here itself. Thank you students for joining. Thank you students for watching this video. Those who are students facing any problems still and need to practice more, they can directly visit to the website and practice from there itself. The practice set is already provided to you all students. Thank you. Bye-bye.